Alright everybody, welcome back to another Xvault gaming video. Xvault here, and today we're going to go over the announcement that we heard from yesterday, which was that VRR, variable refresh rate, was coming to the PlayStation 5 later this week. Well, as of this morning, the updates have actually started rolling out, so let's go ahead and go over what VRR is, what it means to the user, what games are functional with this right now, and many more questions, and hopefully I can answer those for you today. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump to it. Alright, so like I was saying, what I want to go over is the fact that we have VRR available as of today, rolling out for many users. Now, this may be held off a little bit depending on your area or where you're at, of course, and living, so pay attention to the PlayStation blog and other outlets that may inform you a little bit more about when that would be. So as of right now though, you might have this available to your system, so be sure to update that as soon as you possibly can if you do get it, because if you do have a compatible TV, this will be definitely a useful feature. So first of all, what I want to go over, I'm going to let you know some of the games that'll be gone over, but first I want to let you know what this is. I'm going to pull some of this from Tech Radar. They have a better lingo than me just saying it, so this way I'm not skipping over anything. But with that being said, variable refresh rate is an increasingly common feature supported by many of the best TVs and allows for a much smoother on-screen gaming experience. The feature is a solution to screen tearing, which occurs when your TV's image refresh rate is out of sync with the game that you are playing. To further go into that, they go on to state, have you ever noticed a section of the image lag behind another, as if it's been sliced in half, whenever you adjust the camera angle? The screen tearing in action, and it's what variable refresh rate can eliminate entirely. PS5 VRR will achieve this by syncing your TV's display to the console's output, effectively stopping screen tearing from happening without a hit to overall performance. Before variable refresh rate became more of a standard feature, one of the best ways to solve screen tearing was through a V-Sync, which is a vertical sync option. V-Sync achieves more or less the same results as variable refresh rate, with the caveat that it's reliant on your hardware. As such, enabling vertical sync comes with a heavy hit to overall performance. It's not just a screen tearing that the PSVRR will solve, though. Another great benefit of the feature is that it'll help to clean up games with frequent stuttering or those that are prone to frame drops for a smoother, more consistent experience. That's a huge win for massive titles like Horizon Forbidden West or Elden Ring, where performance can buckle under the weight of those enormous open worlds. With VRR, you'll barely notice when a game's frame rate fails or falls below its 60 frames per second target. Thankfully, variable refresh rate is now a standard feature with HDMI 2.1 cables, one of which is packed in with a brand new PS5 console. If you have a TV that's built with HDMI 2.1 ready ports, then you're already fully equipped to make use of the PS5 VRR. Though it's best to check whether your display supports the feature. Of course, make sure you're updated with your model and all that, or you have the newest models more than likely. If you are interested in learning more about VRR right beyond the summary, they do have a comprehensive What is VRR guide that contains everything you need to know about the display technology, so definitely check that out on Tech Radar's website itself. But much like the thumbnail shows, you are just going to go into your settings in the video output section, and you're going to go down and enable that VRR and turn it on to at least automatic, and then go ahead and flip that to apply to also unsupported games. Now, real quick, let's go over the list of games they have on the PlayStation blog that are as available right now for the VRR. So we'll go down the list real quick. I'll put this on the screen as well, but we do have Astro's Playroom, Call of Duty Vanguard, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, Deathloop, Destiny 2, Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition, Dirt 5, Godfall, Marvel Spider-Man Remastered, and Miles Morales, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, Resident Evil Village, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege, and Tribes of Midgard. So those are just a few of the PS5 titles that are receiving VRR support, and so they're thinking, of course, the talented teams behind those that helps that happen. So stay tuned to the channels on the PlayStation blog that will have updates for the best experience with VRR once their game patches are live. So a lot of these are going to be patches that gone live or will go live. So expect to see in the coming weeks or even days that you're going to see a lot more games already take advantage of this, because it's just a nice feature. Now, the other part of this is if you don't have, I hate to say it, a newer TV that has these benefits for the models, then you're probably not going to get anything from it. As a matter of fact, you will not, because you need to have the TV having the ability to enable VRR. Otherwise, the system won't do anything. It won't enable it. It won't be able to recognize it or anything like that. So it's just a nice feature to have. Is it an end-all be-all? No. I honestly have played on my PlayStation 5 for well over a year. I have not noticed any huge frame dips. The only ones I've noticed as of late is from Elden Ring. That is the biggest game I've noticed stutter and have jankiness to it, I would describe it as. That's a developer thing, not a console thing. That goes with a lot of different games as well. It's not necessarily the console lacking the power or anything like that. It is a dev issue that they need to probably iron some things out. But with that being said, so definitely I don't have a list right now or anything like that, but if you are curious, you probably know that your TV's probably not more up to date, and you're aware that you probably don't have the ability to do or take advantage of VRR. Or if you do have a newer TV that you bought in the last 2 to 4 years, you might want to look up your TV model, which should be indicated by a white sticker on the back of your TV, and you can look that up in the Google search, type in your model name and say, does model so-and-so and so-and-so have VRR, or is it capable, or is it waiting for an update for your TV if it's a smart TV, or whatever the case is. The safest bet to go through right now on TVs, just some advice, is that LGs are the quickest and easiest ones to have that already available, ready to go. They have multiple 2.1 HDMI ports. They are ready to go for VRR. Xbox has had VRR for a while now that applies to a lot of their games. So this is newer to the PlayStation 5 side of things. So definitely just something that helps. I do have an LG C1 model myself, so it does have that. But if I was to advise TVs, again, the easiest one to get right off the bat or right out the box would be an LG model. You can go from C9 and up, I believe, and maybe even before that, but definitely C9, CX, C1, and the newer one that's coming out as well. It's not the only ones. You can go with Hisense as well. It also has great TVs for the brightness, HDR10s. They also have VRR and all that. So it does a really good job with doing that. I'm going to have that tested out. We have a brand new Hisense in our house as well for the boy. So we'll check that out, and I'll kind of report back on that in one way, shape, or form, and see how that works with it. And then also, if you had the money, if money was not an issue, I would totally go Sony OLED. Make sure it does have the VRR, because some of the Sony TVs, I'm just being honest, they haven't pushed out the update to a lot of their TVs, and some are still waiting and hemming and humming about. And just check the OLED. Most of the new OLEDs for the Sonys should have VRR enabled and has that patch or is ready to go right off the bat. But they do. The reason I recommend the Sonys is because, as great as the LGs are, I have no issues. You can't help it if you're doing a side-by-side. The chip processor inside the Sony Bravia OLEDs are just absolutely absurd with how the clarity and everything is on there. If you think the LG OLEDs and everything look great, and trust me, I'm a big fan of the LGs, there's just something that gives that edge with that Sony processor. They use the same panels for LG and all that, but it comes down to that processor, right? So if you can get that VRR and you're a big tech dude and you want to have it, you got the money, that would be my recommendation personally, from what I've seen with my own 2 eyes at multiple stores and stuff like that as well. If I had the money and the VRR was there at the time, I would have done it. I did went ahead and went with the C1. You can't really go wrong with any LG you have. If you did go that route, or any other TV that has these features, they all have their pros and cons and stuff like that. You can always go to TV ratings and such and look at that stuff as well if you really want to get real technical about stuff. So just be sure to check all that out. Do your research, but there you have it. VRR is live. It is going live as we speak to a lot of folks. And if you don't have it yet, don't fret. It is coming sooner than later for you, I'm sure. And again, to take full advantage, make sure your TV is up to date. And if not, and you don't care, you don't care, but odds are you probably didn't click on this if you didn't care. So there we are there. But I'm excited. I'm going to check that out today. And again, I'll kind of provide some feedback for my LG, the Hisense, and all that stuff, and let you know how that works and if I've noticed any difference. And as of now, Insomniac's doing some sort of weird black magic, man. They're doing 120 frames per second on the Spider-Man games and Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. So I definitely want to jump into those, check those out, and see what we can do there. Very excited. I don't know how they're doing it. These consoles are amazing. $500, and you can do so much with them, and they just give you so many benefits, and they will last multiple years. You don't have to worry about having to upgrade. You don't have to do a mid-gen upgrade or anything like that. We don't know what that looks like in the future here, but if ands or buts off the table, this is what you have, $500, and you can go pure digital and go $399, $400 for just a great system that's going to give you everything you want, all these next-gen features or current-gen features, right? So there you have it. Appreciate y'all sticking around with me for the entirety of the video. As always, I appreciate that support. It helps me out so much. And of course, let me know what you think in the comments down below about any of this. Are you going to take advantage of it? Does it interest you at all? Are you curious to see what I have to say? Let me know in my reports and findings out by taking advantage of that as well. So be sure to like, comment, and of course subscribe if you are new to the channel, helping out a small content creator like myself so I can continue to grow, do better, put out better quality content, and devote more of my time and stuff like that. So thank you so much. All of that really does help, folks. So thank you again. And we'll see you on the next Xvault gaming video. And until then, take care.